Hi, everybody. My name is Lisa Ascalise, the inventress. My business is Inventing A to Z. At Inventing A to Z, I work with clients to take their products from concept to fruition, from a napkin idea all the way to the marketplace and everything in between, the right way. If you want to contact me, email me, lisa@inventingatoz.com. My website, inventingatoz.com.
Hi, everybody. I'm Lisa Ascalise, the inventress, CEO and founder of Inventing A to Z, and this Inventress podcast. And super excited to have one of my favorite people on the show today. She is everything. She's a show host. She's an inventor. She's a mom, a wife, you name it, she does it all. Marci Hopkins. Woohoo!
Hi, guys.
Hi, Marci.
Thank you for having me, Lisa. Thank you for having me again. I'm so excited to be here.
I miss you, girl.
I know, I miss you. One of these days, we're going to see each other in person again.
Well, I told you I'm coming to your beach house.
You bet. I'm telling you.
I'm coming over. Get ready.
Please do.
So how have you been? What's going on?
Everything's good, good. You know, just been shooting, keeping up with the show, keeping up with the family, with the way things are, the family's around. So it gets busier, right? But now I'm at the beach house and leading into Memorial Day weekend. So that's good stuff.
That's great stuff. That's great stuff. So for people tuning in, I want them to know who you are. So this is Marci Hopkins, my Marci, amazing Marci. Who hosts a show called Wake Up With Marci and a lot more, does a whole lot more, and has been doing it for a very, very long time. It's a few years now, Marci.
A couple years now. Mm-hmm.
And so Marci interviews so many wonderful people, and I've been fortunate enough to be on her show, and you're an amazing host and just amazing guest also. So let's talk about you, Marci. How did you start all this?
Well, I've always been in television. So my background is I was behind the scenes working in network television. So I've been in on-air promotions, I've been in scheduling, and I've been in operations on the television side of things for Fox Cable Group. And then retired. My second round chapter was being the wife and the mom, and those things have not changed. But what did change is I decided to get in front of the camera when I was 40 and started with commercial, print, acting, led into indie films and such. And I took a hiatus and started my healing journey. And as I got about a year into my healing journey, I was having a calling to come back to the industry and get in front of the camera, but in a way that I could give back. And I originally started with a show called Coffee with Marci. It was a social media talk show, and it did really well. It was interviewing entrepreneurs, nonprofits, giving them a voice in the community, letting the community know who they were, and the community to get to know the entrepreneurs. And it was really wonderful, you know, because I was like, we drive by these businesses all the time. There's so many things that happen in our community, but we don't know, right? We have our same routines. Mm-hmm. And so I was really excited about doing that, and it was going really well. I did that for a little over a year, but my healing journey was going so wonderfully, and life was just amazing. So I knew I wanted to do more. And that's when I created the platform Wake Up with Marci. And it's all about triumphant stories, sharing hope, and having specialists on that can educate us and give us resources to put our lives in action. It's really just about being our happiest selves and how we can get there.
I love it. And I love that about your show. I mean, I was inspired to come on your show because of, I mean, I watched probably 4 or 5 segments. I just realized that you were on and I was like, yes, absolutely. I will be on your show 100% and share my story, my journey. But what I love most about you is you allow people, women in particular, to really open up and share.
I love that.
Especially today, Marci, this is what we all need, right? We're all been secluded. We've been in seclusion, not being able to touch or see or feel each other. And here we go. Now we're here where this is our life. This is the way we live now, right? On Zoom.
Exactly.
We're getting there, getting almost to a place where we can reconnect in person.
That is right. That is right.
Stories. I love that you're able to share stories. Now, I want to go back and talk about your healing a little bit because you're saying healing, but nobody knows what you're talking about. If you want to share, you know, your road to healing, and if you want to talk about that, we can discuss that.
You know what? It's a huge part of my story, and it's living in my truth. And living in my truth is allowed myself to heal and helping other people to heal. I'm almost 6 years sober. Thank you.
It's a biggie.
Yeah, and you know what? It's the best gift I could have ever given myself. But I'll back up a little bit as to why drinking got a bit out of control for me and why I drank. I drank to cope with my past. I was sexually abused. Both my parents were alcoholics, both deceased now. My mother actually passed over this last year during COVID.
Sorry, so sorry.
From alcoholism. And, you know, I had my road. Okay. I had my journey. And again, I used alcohol to cope. That's what I saw. And when I found alcohol, you know, it helped me. It helped me to forget. It helped me to really just push down all the feelings and inadequacy and shame and guilt and that I had for myself. And once I put down the drink and I started my healing journey, which by the way, was the scariest thing I ever did. You know,
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, right. Cause that's what I used. I mean, everybody, you know, not everybody, but you know,
everybody does. Many people
food addictions there's multiple things that we have addictions to. And to think that I would never have that again was really, really hard. But I started AA. AA is what worked for me. There's so many ways that you can help yourself. But I was very fortunate. I was at a place where I was open to all of the things that I needed to do. I followed exactly the program and exactly what I needed. And those steps saved my life. And honestly, those steps, I'm actually writing a book now, and I'm including a lot of what I got from those steps because we all could use guidance how to break cycles, understanding our part, our role in things, right? So there's so many things that we do in our lives that create the unhappiness in our lives and the unhealthy relationships and the lack of love that we have for ourselves and living in a higher vibration and living truly in faith and turning yourself over to God and whoever your God is, your source, your higher power. For me, that's God. And once I did that, I started living a life that was beyond my wildest dreams. And now I have this show, I'm helping other people, I'm writing this book. And I went from this person that hated myself and thought I had nothing to offer to feeling a fullness now and living in gratitude that I never knew was possible. And that's what I want to give back.
Well, isn't that what it's all about, Marci, is loving yourself? I
Mhm.
think we forget to love ourselves.
Yeah.
No, you said it. You said you retired. I don't know. I don't know how you said you started at 40 and you retired and all this. You look like you're 25 years old.
Oh,
You retired 10 times from different careers. Housewife, mommy, doing all the things you're doing. And you get caught up and ensconced in all of that, the minutia of life and having to be perfect and having to, do all of the whether it's wifely things or motherly things. And I think you kind of put yourself on the sidelines, and you had things that went on, right? Like we all do, have things in our past and our backgrounds that cause us to not love ourselves.
Yeah.
Or forget about ourselves. So
Mhm.
I mean, I love the fact that you're writing this book, because we all need it, especially now. How to grow and build and have faith, and we
Yeah.
all have to have, especially today, have to have faith and have to, again, number one, love ourselves first before we can love anyone else. Oh, wait, did I just steal that from RuPaul? I think that was RuPaul's.
Love
Sorry,
RuPaul.
RuPaul Drag Race. No, I think, my daughter and John watch so much RuPaul and talk about it. Anyway, so getting back on track. But that's really what it's all about. So I love that you're writing this book. And when is it coming out, girl?
I got to tell you, I think it's coming out this year. I think the final will be done, I'm hoping July.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you, I had made a pact with myself that my book would be done by July 29th, which is my birthday. And I
Almost
think it
there.
actually, huh?
You're almost there. It's almost July 29th. The
I
pressure
know.
is on, and I will be calling you and saying, how's that manuscript?
Exactly. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But what I love about the book, it has a lot of my story,
Mm-hmm.
but it has a lot of ways that the reader can connect and help themselves. And again, kind of like my show, it's full of hope and it's full of resources. I educate you on a lot of things, different ways that you can help yourself. And if those the chapters are kind of like stories on their own, and then at the end of it, I give you kind of the resource educational piece of it, that maybe if you were sexually abused, what does that look like, right? The grooming process, how many women and boys, are sexually abused? What can be done? How can you help yourself? That sort of thing.
I love it. And I love the openness. I love
Yeah.
the openness and the candor. And because it's a read, people will be able to relate. And, I love that. And write and journal. I'm all about the journaling too.
Yeah. And you know what? You keep saying it, and I've learned this,
Mm-hmm.
is that living in your truth
Yes.
is how you set yourself free. It's
100%.
really, really true.
Because we're okay. We're good. We're okay. We
Mhm.
can be exactly who we are. And it's fine. It's more than fine. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Right. And learning who we are, right? I mean, I
Yeah.
didn't know who I was. I never got to know myself. So now I know who I am, and I'm finding my gifts and my passion. So I love that. I love it.
And I love that you're giving that. And, to piggyback on that, actually, my sister and I were talking about this today.
Mhm.
Spending time by yourself and getting to know yourself. We don't do that.
Yeah.
Not enough, right?
Yeah.
So
Right.
I force myself to do it. I force myself to go to the beach. I love the summertime. I can't wait.
Yeah.
It really gets warmer. And I'll spend 9 hours on the sand reading and praying and
Mhm.
getting into a space where I can really start to think about who I actually am and how
Yeah.
I'm living and what my living is all about. We've got 5 minutes on this planet. We really do. That's all we have. We got 5 minutes to live our best lives and
Mhm.
give to others. How do you
Yeah.
want to do that? You know what I mean?
How do you want to show up for yourself, right? And
Yes.
then I know, and listen, if there's people out there right now and they're going through that really difficult time and they're like, I'm never going to get there. That'll never be for me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I certainly felt that way too. But if you start, and I know how difficult it is to change that mindset,
Yeah.
but if you start making those little changes, learning the tools,
Mm-hmm.
helping yourself, knowing that you can change, believing that, and then believing in yourself, and then loving yourself, lifting your vibrations, you know, turning to God, your source. And like you said, nature is one of the best ways to connect
Yes.
to the universe, to your God, to yourself. And that's so very important. And when you start that quietness and those thoughts that come to you, I mean, that's really for you to start moving forward with, and those fears come in, right? And I can't do that.
Okay.
But yes, you can, or you wouldn't be thinking about it, right?
Yeah.
And if you are going through that difficult time, think about how many difficult times we've gone through in our lives, and we got through them.
Every single time, somehow, right?
Exactly. You learn from it. Right. When you're in that worst place, you just got to keep telling yourself, I'm going to get through this. There is a reason this is happening. I'm going to learn from this and be stronger on the other side, hopefully. So, yeah.
For sure. So what's the name of the book?
My Signs from the Other Side. And I am trying to.
Wait, you said My Signs from the Other Side?
Yeah.
Cool. My Signs from the Other Side. I love that, Marci.
And I'll tell you why. Because once I started doing this, I am blown away by the signs and the things that have happened. And what I hope is by me sharing these things, that slowly people will open up and start to identify these signs that are around us every day, just proving that there is something larger than us guiding us. And they've got our back. God has our back.
Always. Our front, our top, our bottom, every single day. And if we just give it to him, right? We remember. That's the whole thing too. You have to remember to give it to God.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as soon as your feet hit the ground, you have to remember.
Yeah.
You got to have some kind of a reminder. And I love that. And there are signs. There are signs every single day. If you look and you pay attention, they're there. They're there. Right. You know, I mean, how many times do you say to your husband or your children, you're not going to believe what happened today? How crazy is this? Was that not a God sign? That was was such a God sign. It happens every day. You just have to give yourself that center and remember that they are there. The signs are there and the connections are there. I love that. I love that.
Yeah. I think it's going to be My Signs from the Other Side, Silent Suffering to Amazing Grace.
And isn't your daughter's name Grace? I love that. Gracie, right?
Yes.
Gracie, right? I love it.
Yes. So I'm so super excited. And I would be remiss if I did not mention the fact, and you said it about the inventress. When you came on my show, you reignited that inside of me. I had this idea from now, I guess about 13 years ago. You came on, discussed what you do by helping people with their inventions from A to Z. And that I told you about what I had been thinking about for all those years. And you were like, yes. And so now what I cannot wait, and this will happen, is have you back on the show when it actually comes out. And we are going to have a huge show about the process and the product. So I'm excited about that.
That was and congratulations. And we're moving on that. So we'll talk about that off air because we got some things to finish up, right?
I know. I got to clear the plate.
We need to finish up.
Yes.
And it's okay. It'll get done. It'll get done 100%. And yes, I can't wait to get back on your show and talk about it and launch it. Launch it. We're going to launch that on shopping, one of the shopping networks for sure.
Yes.
Because it's a product that everybody can use. Everybody, even our tech John, who's behind, even you, John. Everybody in the world could use this product. We can't say much about it, but it's going to be for everybody. And that was so much fun that day on your show. Thank you for having me. That was a blast. And you cracked me up because you're like, the whole time, I have a product. I have an idea. I'm like, is she serious? Is she I have a product. And as soon as we got offset, as soon as I got offset with you, you're like, no, I really have a product. I really do have a product. And we started. I think that was it the next day, the next week?
It was probably the next week, I think. What I will say, and you will always be one of my fondest memories, because before COVID, I had opened up my studio, and you were like maybe one of the last interviews I had in my studio prior to COVID, and we had to shut it down. And so you guys, Lisa is in my open for my show. So you got to take a look at that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, that's exciting. That's exciting. Oh my gosh. That was a crazy day. That was a crazy, crazy day in so many ways. It was the beginning. It was the beginning of the pandemic. And now this is the end. This is the end, guys. This is it. I'm speaking that into existence. It's over. We're over. We're going to start living our lives, being careful, but living our lives again. So Marci, let's talk a little bit more about your show and some of the people you interview and how it felt to have your first big, I guess, celebrity on your show.
My first celebrity was Suzanne Summers, and I was so excited. I was over the moon. I was nervous, but with the celebrities that I have on, and I always say this, what is my guest going to give to my audience? And I think nothing different than a celebrity. Mm-hmm. And I get on, I say hello, I have my smile on, and I get informed about what it is that they've done and what's important, the message. Mm-hmm. So when I focus on the message, it gets me past any kind of butterflies as to who I'm speaking with. Because at the end of the day, I believe that they're trying to help somebody and I'm trying to help someone, and we're just doing it together. And it's just what we put out there.
I'm so happy to hear that. I'm so happy to hear that because, it's not who they are, it's what they give, right? It's not the whole status, it's what they're willing to give. And I saw that interview, by the way, with
Suzanne. Yeah.
Very natural, very organic, very authentic. I loved it. But that's because you are so good at what you do.
Thank you, Lisa.
You really are. You're amazing at what you do.
Thank you.
I want people to follow you. You have thousands of followers, but I want people to follow you and watch what you do and take a look at your shows. So can you please share your information and let us know?
I would love to. Thank you.
Please.
So my show is on WLNY TV broadcast network that's in all of New York, all of New Jersey, and parts of Connecticut. And that's channel 10 or 55 on most cable companies, providers. Also, if you're outside of the area, it's on YouTube. It's streaming on a network called NJ On Air, and that network is also on Roku and Amazon Fire Stick, so you can get my show via that way too. And now I have started putting my show on podcast platforms also, so you can listen to it. And, that's on iHeart, Spotify, Amazon. And so I'm very excited about that because it just gives more exposure. And Instagram is where I do a lot of my daily stuff, right? So I love to do the reels. I love to give information. I keep you up to date on the show. And all of that is at Wake Up with Marci. If you ever want to find me on anything, just Wake Up with Marci. My email's even wakeupwithmarci@gmail.com. So I just try to keep it simple. And you said about a lot of followers and stuff on Instagram, and my biggest purpose, of course, I want my show to grow, but I want it to grow because of the guest and the information that is given on the show.
Most important.
Because there is something that will touch pretty much everyone out there.
Yes.
If you even watch 1 month of shows, there are going to be at least 3 shows that hit home for you or somebody close to you.
Oh yeah. Nuggets of everything on your show. Everything.
And so much of it is about mental health and mindset and wellness, spirituality, and having people of success, that have gone through difficult times, but now they are leaders in their industries. And how did you get there? Right. So it's just, I am just blown away at the information that is given and the beautiful stories, because we all have a story. And if we share and be our authentic selves, we are going to touch the most people we possibly can with that authenticity. So
and you do, and you definitely do. It's easy. It's an easy conversation with you. And I love that. I love that about you, Marci.
Thank you. And, I'm sorry.
I said, that's what makes your show a success. And I love, what's cool? I wake up like Saturday mornings and I flick and I go, there's Marci. There you are. There she is on TV. And just being your authentic and natural self. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Always having a guest on that gives wonderful information.
Yeah. And you know what? I just want to say too, I have some amazing men coming on the show.
Oh, good for you.
Yes, I've got Ryan Serhan. I don't know if you know him. He's from what is that? Millionaire Real Estate, New York.
Yes, I love that.
Ryan. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
and then I have John Stamos coming on. He's going to be talking about men's health. I just had Kim Fields on. I have to say Kim Fields, all right. I am like, woo, woo, love her.
That was an amazing show. I didn't know that you were going to have her on the show. I caught that. And what a fabulous, she seems very, very genuine, sincere, but that's everybody you have on your show, I have to tell you. And then I saw her show.
Yeah.
So she was promoting her show.
Yeah,
so
the Upshaws. Yeah.
Yes.
So huge fan. And I just got some really great people coming on that I'm just so excited about. Yeah.
John Stamos. Oh my gosh. If Brittany's watching or she's watching this podcast, she's going to freak out. John Stamos, come on.
Yeah. So he's, and then I have Tom Felicia in that same show. He was the original 5 from Queer Eye for the Straight Guy.
Oh yes, my gosh.
Designer.
You got some goodies on there, girl.
He is fantastic. Yeah. So anyway, just really, really excited. Some good stuff. And again, even like today, I interviewed this woman, Renee Greenstein, and her husband passed away. And she was going to give up, and her dad was like, nope, you have a child and you are going to make it. And now she has 2 lines on QVC.
Get out of here. Good
New
for
clothing,
her.
new clothing lines. She just published a book. She's a Black female entrepreneur, and she is rocking it
Oh,
and
wait a minute. I
gorgeous.
know who she is. She's been
Yeah,
on TV for a year. Renee with her
Renee,
knit,
here's.
just city knits.
Yeah,
I mean, of course, she was on your show. She has city knit. She's been on
yeah,
for years. Beautiful, beautiful woman.
beautiful woman. But anyway, I just get so excited about my guests.
Yeah, well, you have great, great guests on your show.
Thank you.
I definitely have great guests on my show. You look who's on today.
I feel so privileged to be here, Lisa. Thank you.
I feel privileged to have you, girl. So let me ask you, first of all, because I know you're about having fun too. What is the song that inspires you every day? And I know many people have multiple songs, but what's the song that gets you going, that gets you excited?
Oh, goodness. Oh, you have me on the spot because I am
Got it.
terrible
Got
with
it.
names.
That's all right. Sing it.
Um,
Sing it then.
Oh,
That's a
God.
word spot, right?
you know what? There's a song by Lauren Daigle. I don't know if you ever listened to Christian radio, and I am blanking on the song. I wish that I could remember, but
Her name is Christian Dago.
or Lauren Daigle.
Lauren Dago. Okay.
And
Christian Dago,
she's just so her music and her voice. I mean, she was on in Carnegie Hall right before, and I was like so upset that I didn't get to see her right before COVID hit. Mm-hmm. But she's also mainstream. She's not just on Christian radio. One of her songs actually hit mainstream.
Really?
And
yeah.
I don't know. I don't have my phone. I want to look her up.
Okay, but you said her name, and I love that, because isn't there always, I mean, for me, music inspires me. I talked about this on Motivational Monday the other day. Well,
yes,
it's all about the music for me, and
yeah,
that's what gets me going. Besides God, giving it to God, but just music is what really lifts me and inspires me every single day. And
I love music too.
I get lifted up by the music. Now, and I'm going to put you on another spot. So what's your happy dance? Is there a dance that you do when you got a great guest on the show?
Oh, listen to me.
There you go. That's it. That's probably one of the best happy dances I've had on this show. I love it. You're doing it. Yeah. Do the happy dance. I love it. I love it. You are so amazing, Marci.
Thank you. Love you. You are too, girl.
I mean it. I love you too. I love you too. Thank you so much for being on my podcast. And I can't wait to give you a hug.
I can't wait.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm just so impressed and inspired by what you do all of the time, and by your, just like what your motivation is in everything that you do. So you're an incredible woman. So it's a gift that I have gotten to meet you and become friends with you. So that's a gift.
And I feel that right back at you, the same thing. Hearts. I can never do this right. Am I making the heart right? It always looks like a C. Am I doing it? Heart.
Heart.
Right?
Heart. I don't know.
Well, this has been awesome, awesome, awesome. Love having you. And we're going to do this again. And again, Marci, love you, sweetheart. And
love you. You're gonna be on Wake Up, because we are going to have this done before Christmas. Okay. Let's put that out there.
Oh, that's done. That's a done deal. And I'll be on the show before Christmas. And,
okay.
Yeah, we're getting it done, girl. We're getting it done.
Okay, wonderful.
Love you, Marci.
Thank you again.
Take care.
So great meeting your audience too. Thank you.
Thank you, Marci. So that was a great, great conversation with Marci. It always is. She's so much fun. She's a great guest. She's a great friend. and just shares so much information. So please make sure you check her out, follow her on Instagram, watch her shows, Wake Up with Marci. And if you want to get on my show, please feel free to email me. It's info@inventingatoz.com. That's info@inventingatoz.com. My website, inventingatoz.com. And certainly, please listen to every podcast. Go to all of your major podcast platforms. You'll hear us. Lisa Askelis, the inventress, and watch us on YouTube and subscribe. We love when you subscribe, and we love when you watch and listen. So until next time, please keep on lifting each other up, 2 hands at a time, and sometimes you just got to use that foot.